Alright guys, Tactical back again today. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. And the Challengers Champs ongoing right now. Certainly a lot of drama on that side of things we're going to run through today. But also with the CDL and a bit of a question mark state with the whole World Championship for the pro side, there certainly has been some talk as well about sponsors continuing to pull out of the league and putting it in an increasingly precarious situation. Intrigued to get your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new as always. I greatly appreciate it. I've already upset the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. Let's talk then about the Challengers situation right now. In the Apex side of things, who is really surprised? It's at Renegades that want run away with it. Pred, Shox, Luca and Fighter, they get their job done out in that region. Very impressive stuff. Rumour has it that Pred is going to be one of the players that's at least being considered by some of the pro teams in the league next season now. Whether expansion comes into play, we haven't heard anything about it as yet. There is some talk though, potentially, given the fact that some of these sponsors are pulling out of the league, whether expansion is a route they go down to try and actually get some cash, or whether some of the organisations that wanted to buy in for expansion are maybe not so keen anymore with the whole, Blizzard lawsuit that's going on right now with the California state government. So the Apex Challenger region won by Renegades. I mean, congratulations to those guys. No real surprise, to be honest. They've been dominating over there for a very long time. On the North American side, we've got Hagi, we've got Zin City, right, getting supported a fair bit. And I was hoping one of these guys would at least make some sort of run through the Challengers bracket. Doesn't end up happening in the end, though, as we will look at here in just a second. The European region, there was some absolute chaos going on. Probably look at this tomorrow or in coming days or something. But there was some serious questions being raised about some of these teams that were doing particularly well. This last Pepe's team right here, that I think their first few rounds they went 18-0 map count or something. And these guys, I mean, they were obviously looking phenomenally, so much better than they had done the previous few events. Questions being raised by some of the big teams, as Josh says right here, absolute burgers all year, turned into some of the best players in the EU for the big one. Question mark and exclamation mark type, maybe something's going on here exactly right. And there was some talk about some of these players, okay, how come they were look bad all season and all of a sudden they're absolutely dominating the challenger scene. Sometimes that stuff just does happen, right? But of course, without the anti-cheat, there's still some questions were being raised there. Maybe I'll look at that in the coming days if something more comes out about it. So let's focus on the North American stuff for now. I'll continue to talk about the results, I imagine, tomorrow. But North American Challengers, that's Law Gaming, so Parasite, Rambi, Perform and Yeez, they finished 7th through 8th of the Challengers finals. They couldn't quite get their job done in the end. I was hoping they'd make some sort of losers bracket run, but Doug went out, I'm pretty sure, top 16. Parasite's out top 8. So unfortunately they fall short. I mean, I was certainly rooted for them as CDL memes was, as you can see right here. Now, Methods, TJ, Decimate and Slacked finished 5th through 6th. Now, this was a very interesting one, because this team, of course, of 4 former pro players. Methods on Toronto, so technically still a pro player. TJ Halley as well. Decimate was on the New York Subliners for a while. He was on the Seattle Surge for a while, which I almost forgot about given how short-lived that was. To be fair, the New York Subliners one was even more short-lived, but the Decimate to Seattle one was pretty funny this season. And Slacked as well, who was on the Mutineers. These guys were calling themselves like the professionals or whatever. They came into the Challengers finals, and of course, I imagine they were expecting to do pretty well. Didn't really happen though. They come top 6. There is a clip I'll play for you guys at the end of the video, which is absolutely hilarious, which is TJ is having a woeful map on Garrison Hardpoint. Actually, I'll have a look at the screenshot here in a second. And Slacked manages to pick up full streaks, or at least he gets the artillery. And the play he makes to finish off the game to secure their spot in the losers bracket is pretty impressive, and they then get knocked out too long after that. And this is what Mohawk says, right? So they end up beating them in the winners bracket, do Mohawk and Co. That being Mohawk, Sparty, Saints and Prolete. And look at this right here. GG's to Methods and Co. Guy cannot beat me like usual. 1-3-1. And this is one of the scoreboards, as you can see. 250 to 62. Wasn't a pretty map at all. I'm pretty sure Methods went, Methods was trying, right? He has almost 4,000 damage right here. The rest of the team is not looking so pretty. And so, they got completely demolished on Moscow Harbor. And they lose this series pretty convincingly in the end. They do win a map. They go 2-1, as you can see right here. This was that final map. We are trying now Saints, Spart, Mohawk and Prolete, as you can see here on the left-hand side. And then, the professionals, TJ not having the best map at 9-23. Methods trying his best. And Slacked, as you can see at this point, on a 6 streak, but not the highest engagements. Trying to get those streaks, and the streaks didn't come in to the best possible utility they could have done, as I'll look at the end of the video. So very interesting to see, right, that some of these pro players drop down to Challengers, not really performing. What does that mean going forwards to next season, right? If some of these players, they still have some clout, they still have some talent, no doubt, but will players decide to pick those, will teams decide to pick those guys out, like the professional squad, or they pick up the likes of, Mohawk, Sparts and Saints and Co. I mean, Saints obviously has been a pro for many a year, so no doubt that he's going to have an opportunity next. I'm pretty sure Paris wanted that, they were kind of thinking about buying Saints, but they didn't want to pay the buyout fee of like 25 grand from the Subliners Academy. So Saints is still in the challenger side, but he certainly would be deserving of a spot, I think, in the Pro League, as with a number of these players performing very well in the challenger scene. So that's the thing, right? If you're a pro player who's now down there in a challenger side and there's no expansion looming, then what do you do, right? Like, do teams actually want to get you? Obviously, your veteran talent means something, but not necessarily performing as you would have liked to in some of these online challengers tournaments is not necessarily the best look for some of these players. And well, of course, some drama did ensue. TJ says, online COD is so incredibly hard, it's not even funny. I think that every single player who competed in challengers from day one to now all feels the same pain, says Doug. Hopefully that they can have challengers LAN events again to keep us fresh-minded. That'd be really cool to see, right? But of course, earlier today we talked about some of the issues with doing the pro scene on LAN that will that actually follow for challengers at any point. Of course, we did used to have challengers LANs like at the start of the Modern Warfare season, right? Which obviously would be fantastic to see. But I imagine a lot of the challenger scene is going to continue to be online for at least the near future. They're probably going to certainly be focusing on getting the Pro League back to LAN as much as they can. I hope so next season. But challengers, of course, will be the second cousin always. So this is what Methods comes out and says, that does it for my Cold War season. Truly feel like this could have been my best game. I wouldn't expect anyone to believe it, considering I have nothing to show for it at all. This year's been a disaster. No idea what happens next. Thanks for the support, right? So will Methods get on the squad next season? It's tough as a main AR. There's a lot of good main ARs out there. There's a lot of good main ARs and challengers as well that Methods is competing with right now. Didn't have the ideal result this past weekend. Hamza Frosty says this then. So this is where things get kind of spicy. Whenever Champs is over, I'm going to make a list of the top 10 best challengers ARs. People who actually win and are not just based off relevancy or gassed because of social media. Maybe talking about Methods and some of these guys as well, saying, okay, there's a lot of players in challengers that are really good with an AR. There's not necessarily some of these professionals that have come down to the challenger scene. This then comes out from Sir Scrappy, right? So Methods was saying something on stream. We'll have a look at it in just a second. Keep lying to 7k people to get a laugh. You're terrible. I would never beg to team with you. You went from pro player to an absolute meme at Methods. We'll have a look at exactly what Methods had to say on Zoomer's stream in just a second here, saying that, you know, these guys are really nothing compared to, well, an actual professional player that's done it all in one event in the past.
I mean...
Are you going to be making a list as well, Zen?
No.
I think if you watch my stream, I goes without saying.
Bro. I mean...
with the little bit I was watching, I was like back and forth. You were doing your thing.
I mean, yeah.
Wait, that is comedy, bro. That is so funny.
That guy's awful, by the way.
Oh,
Whoa.
okay, well, now you're definitely not making the list, bro. What the
Well, no offense.
Now you're definitely not making the list, eh?
Simply an objective comment.
No, I would agree with Zen, though. I would agree with him on that one.
Austin, we know, Chess.
Yeah, bro, I don't know.
Why is Scrappy on my dick in your chat?
Who?
As if his duo, the one who's obsessed with me, wasn't begging me to team in my DMs.
Oh my god.
So this is how things are looking then going into the Grand Finals. Saints & Co will play Built by Gamers. That's GodRx, Pentagram, Panda and Kismet in the Grand Finals. That's Saint, Spark, Mohawk and Proloot on the other side of things. They're in the Grand Finals as well. So congratulations to both these guys. But of course, it still remains all up for grabs over the coming hours. Thought this is kind of interesting as well, right? Because that Built by Gamers team that made the run here with their Panda on the squad. Panda's honestly been looking really good whenever I watch him. And as Octane says, that Panda guy's pretty good. If only we didn't taint his reputation last year when of course he joined Seattle Surge. Didn't go too well for them, as Temp says. He got to be the best AR in challengers, either him or Mohawk. He's always been good. He just joined a doomed roster and everyone thought he was bad. That's the thing, right? If you're a pro player, or if you were a pro player on a bad team, then all of a sudden people probably think you suck. It's like the same thing with Venom in a way, maybe, that you join into a squad, doesn't really work out for you, but maybe the team was somewhat dysfunctional, and then all of a sudden you're back in challengers and it's tough to get another spot, right? The same with Spart in a way. He got his spot over at Los Angeles Grillers last season, didn't really make the most of it, and now he's down there in challengers again. Even if he is killing it and playing really well, everyone's always going to think, if you're a team manager, if you're a general manager, you're always going to think about, okay, yeah, but he did come in the Pro League and didn't really make the most of his opportunity. And that's tough for a guy like Panda in a way that, maybe he did have the opportunity on Seattle, didn't really work out well for him, and maybe because the roster was absolutely doomed, as Octane is saying, but as a result, it's reducing his chance to get opportunities additionally in the future. So this is how things go. I'm pretty sure Ariel Arise, that being Ember & Co, ended up finishing top 3. These are the rest of the placements so far, though. So Parasite top 8, Professionals, that's Methods & Co in top 6, and I'll let you guys know how everything does conclude over, well, tomorrow and such. Wanted to mention this before we finish off the video then, because a few days ago we discussed the fact that T-Mobile has seemingly left the CDL and the Overwatch League as their sponsor. So T-Mobile used to sponsor a fair bit of things. Now, apparently due to this whole lawsuit that's going on right now with Activision Blizzard, they have pulled out and said, look, we're no longer going to do it anymore, which does mean less annoying ad breaks for us, but also means less cash for the CDL itself. Now, the Overwatch League has lost a load of sponsors, as well, Charlie Intel says right here, Overwatch League has gone from having 8 sponsors to 3, so they had a lot of really high-profile sponsors that the CDL doesn't really have as yet, or maybe never were even able to acquire. But still, CDL so far has only lost T-Mobile, but there's some other sponsors as well. Like, I mean, you've got the US Army, you've got USAA, you've got like Zenny glasses or whatever. I'm sure there's other ones that I'm forgetting, but still, as Crone says in reply, eyes peeled, Charlie, there'll be more from the CDL dropping out. So this puts things in a very precarious spot. The CDL not only is having to deal with and wrangle with the whole championship stuff going on right now, they're having to wrangle with the lawsuit, and as a result of this lawsuit, a load of their sponsors are pulling out of the league. Now, while that might reduce the amount of annoying adverts we have to deal with at times, it does mean that the CDL's losing revenue. Now, how can they potentially make up this revenue? I'm not really sure what that looks like. Doesn't mean the next season they just decide to go online only, right, to save money. Let's just hope that doesn't happen. The other option could be that they go for it down the expansion route, right, and they try and, cash in $25 million for some teams to help prop up the bottom line. I don't really know what they'll do, but still, not the best look going forwards. The CDL continues to be in a difficult situation. It's been, people have been talking down on the CDL since it was initially, since its inception now, and, a couple of years in, all of a sudden, things are looking somewhat suspect indeed from a number of different angles. Very much intrigued your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. I'll finish up with this phenomenal clip of Slactor destroying his team. The Slack Slam returns here to drop them down to the losers bracket. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm. Like you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and upgrade the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.
It's gonna be so. Yes, they do. So the professionals, they're already rotated. Slack killed Thomas. No, Slack, you can't.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
That's not the two-piece you needed, Slack! It goes in the artillery strike. I mean, I don't know if there was miscommunication. I don't know what was happening right there.